Hello guys and welcome back to another Amakusa Shirou and the Slapstick Museum. And yeah, I'll be resuming this. It's been a while I've been able to play this. I was a bit busy, but I'm back again. And I think I'll need 2 more videos to complete this. And then I'll do a little bit of farming for myself. Alright, let's see. The calling card. Everyone knows that a true phantom thief should never steal anything without one. Exactly. However, creating and placing a calling card properly is much more difficult than most think. The owner of the object to be stolen must have the card brought to their attention, and they must also be certain that it comes from a real phantom thief. It's crazy how I was expecting what's her name, Carmilla Ryder, to be a part of this event. You know, because she's also like a phantom thief. So yeah, I'm still not seeing her. Maybe she'll come later on, or maybe she won't. Anyways, the penmanship on the calling card must also be impeccable, and the card itself should also be written with a poetic flair. You can't exactly send it by post, and you can't just roll up and hand it over in person either. According to one well-known phantom thief, the calling card is the single most important part of a heist. That one piece of paper contains a phantom thief's very essence. Yes. That's why I've been trying to come up with a calling card of my own, but I realized there's a little problem. Well, a rather big one, actually. Okay. Whoa, sounds serious. What is it? Okay, let's say it must be something very... I'm not actually a phantom thief. Well, yeah, but... okay. And you're just realizing this now, huh? That's a very big problem. That's like going to build a rocket ship thinking it runs on charcoal. Oh boy. Still, if I'm going to be one now, I'm going to need a calling card and a name. Oh yeah, we also need a name for him. He has a name. Was it in masked something? M or something like that? I don't remember what it was. He used to call himself that, didn't he? Mysterious Mask or something like that, I think. Something tells me Amakusa Shirou Tokisada alone ain't gonna cut it. Especially since I can't imagine I'm all that well known outside of Japan. What about going to the opposite route then? Maybe you should use a name that is widely known outside Japan. Okay. Hey, yeah, that could work. What about something like... what, Arsene Lupin? I've come to steal this round table. King Arthur. Wow. No, okay, I don't think that's gonna work. Oh yeah, do that. It'll be goddamn hilarious. All that aside, won't warning them that we plan to steal the Holy Grail only make it harder for us to do so? No, but that is what every phantom thief do. So that's the important part of this whole operation. No, the security is already very tight, so that won't be a problem. Okay. If anything, playing this calling card alongside our other plan will only help draw attention from our movements. True. Oh, I just had an idea. There's one very famous name we could use that won't bother anyone. Okay, let's hear it. Oh, what is it? Alright, please. Okay, they won't. Okay. Alright, I'm guessing we're going to hear it here. There's someone here again. There again. Oh, Jinke put the calling card on him. What's this on the breast pocket? A card? Is something wrong, sir? Take a look at this. Let's see. A calling card? Oh my god. Yeah. I shall be coming by for your museum's holy grail, Moriarty. Yours truly, James Moriarty, the Napoleon of crime. No way! It even lists the date and time of the heist. Even the time. I certainly never thought anyone claiming to be James Moriarty would try to steal the Holy Grail. Get more guards in here now. I want double security around the clock. Yes sir, right away sir. Could it be that the servant from the other day? Or maybe another one? Then again, it could be someone else altogether. Either way, this should be very interesting. I only hope I'll be able to add something valuable to my collection. Yeah, that's all he thinks about, adding something, you know. Alright, let's see. Where did you get off using my name without permission? This is identity theft, damn it. Well, you're the one to talk about identity theft. Haha, surely you of all people aren't going to complain about a little thing like that, are you? Well, at least make sure you don't screw this up. I have a reputation to maintain after all. It's okay, we know we can pull this off. As much as I appreciate the effort, Master, coming from a goody two-shoes like you, I'm afraid I find that somewhat less than reassuring. I got the calling card to the curator, like you asked. Excellent, then it's time to begin our plan in earnest. You're up first, Jinken. Got it. Acting's never been my strongest suits, but I'm pretty sure at keeping cool under pressure. Good luck. Thanks, Master. Alright, here goes nothing. Can I help you? Hi there, my name is Lin Zhu. Yeah, none of them have seen her, so it'll be easier for her to blend in, okay. I have the dagger Jinke used during his attempt at Qin Shi Huang's life. Wait right here, please. Do I know you from somewhere? I've been to this museum once before. We may have passed by each other then. Do you have this dagger in your possession now? Yup, this is it. Well now. Oh, I wouldn't touch the blade if I were you. I don't think there would be any poison left on it, but you still can't be too careful. Tell me, how did this come to your possession? Yeah. If it really is over 2000 years old, then it should be corroded beyond identification. Okay, let's see what she... And while it's certainly quite rusty and still in fairly good condition for its supposed age. Okay, wow, what's she going to say here? It's been in my family for generations. I have a letter from someone who knows its history. It explains what happened. I see, and who is this person? My grandfather, okay. His health has been declining lately and his English isn't great, so he asked me to come here on our family's behalf. May I see this letter? Of course. Okay, let's see. Wait, what the? What? Why are we having a battle here? That's weird. Anyways, let's see. Fatal battle, alright. Is it not counterfeit? Oh boy. Okay, this should be troublesome, I feel like. Yeah, I don't even have any... What the hell am I supposed to do here? This thing has one... What? 15,000 health. Gather rate, large amount of crit stars. Okay, this one is like special attack king. Decrease defense. Enemy attack with crit card. Oh, okay. Increase critical stop. Drop rate. Alright, let's put this on as well. Increase critical star effectiveness. Increase star strength. Wait a minute. Her noble phantasm. Oh, it is. Okay. Strength. Alright. I'm gonna put this a little late. First, let me build up the crit stars. Oh no. Yo, isn't this a little bit difficult? What am I supposed to... Okay. Let's see. Let's do this. Okay, it should work now. Alright, hopefully this works. Whoa! Alright. I'm gonna take that. Okay, so is that effect still ongoing? No, it's not. Okay. So then this and this. Okay, she does have like a. I think she can impart a death or something like that. Oh, it missed. Never mind. But it's fine. Damn. Wait, so she has like I didn't know that. Like obviously when I used to use Jingei, she didn't have this effect, I think, where the enemy's defense goes down when you use Quick Card. This kind of makes her quite powerful, doesn't it? Like, yeah, like in solo situations and stuff. Like I don't remember her having this effect when I used to use her, like way long, like 5 years ago or something, when I was starting this game. Yeah, she was my main assassin. I remember when I started the game, she was my main assassin. My main rider was Ushiwaka, I think. Yeah, and okay. So, what is it that you want? Well, I was hoping to lend it to this museum just for a while. I see. Why would you do that? I'm back. That was exhausting. Welcome back. So, how did it go? Not great, okay. I'd say he was at best hoping I was telling the truth, but he was very, very suspicious. Yeah, but I guess it worked still, Excellent. Excellent? Yeah, like the thing about the calling card is there as well, like, that thing happened, so I feel like he's a little bit on the edge. But I guess this is the intended response that we wanted, because Amakusa Shirou is quite happy. Honestly, he was scrutinizing everything so closely, I thought we were done for. What matters is that part of him wanted to believe you. Okay, yeah, that's true. The line between doubt and belief is paper thin, you see. A single well-placed wedge, and you can flip them around completely. I'd like you to start trying to make appointments to see the curator every day. He doesn't have to agree to meet you, but when you see him, don't show any interest in the door to the Holy Grail whatsoever. Just pretend it doesn't even exist. Alright, you're up next, Voyager and Master. Alright, I hope we can do this. Me too, I'm so nervous, my teeth are chapped. Being a boy appraiser sounds tough. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Today, all you have to do is speak passionately about things you already care deeply about. I'll do my best. Likewise. Okay, so I'm guessing he's going to prove the authenticity of the blade. That's what's going on. Whoa, that was it? That was a short little chapter. There's a ruler. Oh, wait. Why a ruler? Okay. Those who pray, those who see, and those who speak. Okay. I made a vow when I was first summoned to Galdia. I told myself I would no longer go about things half-heartedly. I would take everything seriously, everything. I had to. To do so was both my pride and my responsibility. Okay. He's here. Guten Tag, bonjour, hello, how are you? My deepest apologies for the rudeness yesterday. I had no idea you were Mr. Voyager, the famous boy appraiser. It's okay, I already forgot about it. I did my best to find every article I could about you after the unfortunate encounter yesterday. I was amazed to learn that you have single-handedly uncovered ancient ruins, verified the authenticity of countless famous paintings, and even recreated techniques from a civilization thought to be lost forever. Do you think they may have laid it on a little too thick? Nah, we need this, We need this to be more authentic. Like, I think we left too thick behind 5 articles ago. Yeah, ask what you think of our exhibits. Well, he already said that you have a fake thing lying around. What's up with that? Come on. Well, most of them are genuine, but there are a few counterfeits. I'm not surprised. Counterfeiting has been a problem for museum ever since the first one was built. I don't suppose I could ask you to tell which ones are the counterfeits, could I? Sure, I don't mind. Let me see. No turning back now. Let's hope he doesn't suspect anything. There. That Japanese sword, the Masamune. Could I take a closer look? Oh, of course, but do be careful. Yep, I knew it. The color of the blade is all wrong. It's probably titanium that's giving it this blue tint. Wait a minute, Masamune. Like obviously Masamune is quite famous as a but I don't know like who's the person associated with Masamune. Let me just check. Masamune. Isn't Masamune like a demon sword or something like that? I remember like it had like some kind of a proper. Wait a minute, let me just check it. Masamune was a medieval Japanese blacksmith, widely acclaimed as Japan's greatest swordsmith. He created swords and daggers known as Japanese Tachi and Tanto. Oh wait, what about the Masamune sword? No, not this. This is the person. Wait a minute. Masamune sword. Let me check sword. It's the Masamune a real sword? It is one of the best known of the swords created by Masamune and is believed to be among the finest. Honjo Masamune. Oh, that's the name. Okay. The katana nicknamed Kanze Matsumune. Okay. Represented the Honjo Masamune represented the Tokugawa shogunate during most of the Edo period and was passed down from one shogun to another. It is one of the best known of the swords created by Masamune and is believed to be among the finest Japanese swords ever made. It was Japanese national treasure. Okay. Honjo. Okay, there's a lot of things here. Wait, there's a lot other Masamune as well. Wait a minute. There's a Fudo Masamune as well. Oh, so wait. Interesting. I thought Masamune was like only one sword. Obviously, it's like Masamune is the name of a person. So I guess a lot of swords that he made had the name Masamune in it. Okay, so there's Honjo Masamune. There's Fudo Masamune. There's Musashi Masamune. Oh, interesting. Musashi Masamune. I guess Miyamoto Musashi used it then? Wait a minute. Peculiar work of Masamune was in possession of the Tokugawa shogunate through key domain. Okay, the Musashi Masamune was presented as a gift by Tokugawa Ieyasu in honor of Yamaoka Tesshu's efforts to facilitate peaceful negotiations with Katsu Kaicho and Saigo Takamori. Wait. It is rumored that while the blade is named after Musashi Province. Oh, okay, so there's few others as well. Hocho Masamune, Kotegiri Masamune. Okay, and Masamune and Harry S. Truman Library. Wait a minute. Musashi is a province? Is the name of a province? Ah. Okay, I learned a lot of things here with this little. Okay, like obviously like Miyamoto Musashi I know, like so I did not know that Musashi also is like the name is like also is the name of a province. Alright. Okay. Anyways. It's probably titanium that's giving in this blue tint. It's very pretty, but it's not the Masamune. I see. I'm so sorry, it was actually the curator who insisted on displaying the katana to test you. Oh, I see. I already knew that, but he doesn't need to know I knew. Good thing we had Jinkei keeping an eye on him, yeah. Still, at least now I can see for myself that you truly have a appraiser's eye. Please come with me. The curator would like to meet with you in person. There you go. Now all the, suspicion has gone. Come on, Voyager. Okay, big brother. You're Mr. Voyager's brother? Yup, that's me, and I'm the manager as well. Then are you an appraiser too, like your brother? Oh no, I'm just his manager. Oh, I see. What? Why can't... what's wrong with that? What's your problem? He's the best big brother in the whole world. Alright. Good day. I'm the curator of the museum. It's a pleasure to meet you. Hi, I'm Voyager. I'm Fujimaru. Allow me to get right to business. Mr. Voyager, how much do you know about Eastern weaponry? There you go. A decent amount, I'd say. Come now, don't be modest. Only a true expert could have picked the fake Masamune out at a glance. Oh, okay, no modesty. I know lots. I see. Well, the reason I ask has to do with the dagger that almost took Qin Shi Huang's life. You have it here? No, not exactly. We have a guest claiming to have the dagger in her possession. My question for you is this. Is it possible that such a dagger could actually exist today? The historical record does suggest Jin Kei's dagger was stored in Qin's treasury after his attempted assassination. So we know that it was being kept there even after the fall of the Qin dynasty, up until the start of the later Han dynasty. Beyond that point, I would have to do some more research to figure out how it was preserved. That said, if that dagger is the genuine article, I'd like to buy it myself, whatever the price. I think it would be worth every penny. I don't think he's going to give it. I see. Well, I'm afraid the dagger's owner said she has no wish to sell it. Oh yeah, she did say that I'm going to lend this to you, not sell it. Really? That's too bad. Thank you for your time, Mr. Voyager. If the dagger's owner brings it back again, could I ask you to appraise it? Sure, but I want to do some more research first. If my theory is right, then it must have been preserved somewhere nobody would have guessed. I understand. Then I look forward to seeing you again once your research is complete. Okay. Do you think he bought it? Yeah, I guess, kind of. Oh yeah, you were awesome. Really? Thanks, it was really hard. Good work, team. Thanks, but all I did was just stand there. Maybe so, but the curator was still pretty intimidating, right? He was nothing compared to some kings I've met. Yeah. Like, we've met so many, like, like Ivan the Terrible. Just compare him to this guy. Oh boy. That makes sense. Yours has been a long and difficult road. I suppose you would have to have the courage to stand tall before kings to make it as far as you have here. Well done, you two. Here, I made you some hot chocolate to help you with it. Thanks, Sanson. Thank you. Oh, right. I suppose I should report in on my day of pretending to be a doctor, too. There weren't many people in for heat exhaustion today, but there were a surprising number who collapsed from anemia. What? Okay. There were also a few who were hit with magical energy near the Grey Loop. Alright, that's though at least they recovered quickly after a short rest. It sounds like their servants are on high alert then. Good, good. Wait a minute, did he just say anemia? Is there a vampire among, like, I don't know, among the enemy servants? Never mind, I don't think it, yeah. How is that good? Servants may not wear out physically, but they do wear out mentally. Calling card or not, keeping your eyes constantly peeled for an enemy who you're not entirely sure will show up at all has got to be exhausting. It almost makes me feel sorry for them. That's an exceptionally evil look, Amakusa. I think your inner Moriarty is showing. Really? My apologies. Now then, who else has a report to make? Oh, I guess I haven't gone yet either. Just to make extra sure, I don't have to offer to sell the dagger, right? That's right. Selling the dagger would be a business matter, and business relies on trust. And as Lin Zhu, you have nothing trustworthy to offer. But won't they find it strange that I'm asking you to hold on to the dagger rather than buy it? We need to have a proper backstory then. Yes, they will, but there's no such thing as perfect being in this world. Particularly for us humans, our emotions and eccentricities are a key part to what makes us, well, human. Huh? Now that they suspect you're keeping something secret, they'll try to figure out what the secret is. And whatever they find will be the truth as far as they're concerned. That's true. Interesting. So, yeah, it is true. They're suspecting her, so they'll try to figure out what's going to happen. If they figure something out, they'll be like, oh, this is definitely the truth. Like, there will be like 100% no suspicion, whatever they're going to find out. So what we do here is kind of fake like a reason why she's trying to put it there. Have a fake reason for that, and they'll take that as the truth. That type of thing. We humans need convincing before we can commit to a decision. In that sense, trust and doubt are two sides of the same coin. There you go. The more we doubt something, the more convincing we find it when we learn the truth. Yeah, that's a good way to explain that. I wasn't able to properly explain what I was saying. But yeah. So please continue to be more enigmatic. Got it. So, now it's his turn. Yes, it is. It was something of a rush job, but I think it should do the trick. Okay. Oh, Suna is here. Okay. Oh, that's what he was talking about. This is Watanabe no Suna. I'm all set. Go ahead whenever you're ready, Lady Mash. Understood. Initiating simulation now. Wait, what? Okay. Special resistor. Okay, wait a minute. Burst card critical gather rate, increase critical strength. Alright, and this one is evade. Outcast critical stars gather rate, and then gain. Alright, and this one is burst card effectiveness, sure hit, it's critical rate. Alright, let's put this on first. I need that noble phantasm, that's why. Alright, let's get some crit stars. Wait, what the? Okay. What was that? Oh, this is a simulation, I guess. Alright. Alright, this should work. I must say, that turned out to be quite a close call. Ah, God in heaven, please tell me, did I do something to deserve this? Who is this? I mean, I can't think of a few things, but still. If you know what you may have done, then I suggest you make your presence with peace with it. In the meantime, I thank you for your assistance, Lord Shakespeare. Oh, it's Shakespeare, okay. You're quite welcome. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm about to collapse from exhaustion. Good night. Okay, so he was actually fighting him. Okay, I thought that was like a simulation, actually. But, okay. Oh well, I suppose I have no other choice. I'm sure he'll wake up eventually once I toss him in his stuff. Oh. I dare say, can't you carry me a bit more gingerly? Would you rather I carry you by the scruff of your neck like a cat? I have reconsidered. This is perfectly fine. Alright. Okay, I thought I would like do 2 notes, but I still have time. So I'm gonna do the next part as well. This one. Joshipa o Saint Graal. Okay, I think I wasn't able to pronounce that properly. Okay, let's see. So, it's time for the operation. Life is like a lot of things. It's like cars, video games, building blocks, marathons. Take a random sample of people, no matter how many, and while these may seem like alike in some ways, you'll find they all approach life differently. True. For example, my life is like a phantom thief. Or at least, it might be. Okay, we have an hour to go until the museum closes. Which makes it 2 hours till the time the calling card said I would steal the grail. Hansen is already standing on, by his side. Are the rest of you ready? Of course. Me too. All good here. How did the thing with Shakespeare go? No issues to speak of. Well, apart from him complaining about having to participate in a sudden double death match. I'll bring him a souvenir to make up for it then. I'm sure he'd be thrilled to receive a counterfeit of his own work. You're sure about this? I've never been good at holding back. All I can do is trust in my sword and cut down my opponents. Yes, that's fine. In fact, that's exactly what I want. But by all means, hold nothing back. One good swing. Understood. Alright, Voyager and Master, we're up first. Let's go. Roger that. Alright, so here we go. Okay. Hey, boss. I thought I told you to stay at your post. No harm stepping away for a sec, right? Besides, I got something to tell you. Oh? You know the Phantom Thief Moriarty? The one who sent a calling card? Ah, yes, it said he would come today, didn't it? Well, he's headed here now. I just sensed him. Ooh, who is this? I see. Then I'd like you to go and welcome him if you know what I mean. You're not my master. I don't gotta listen to you. Then don't. Okay, so he is not the master, I guess. Yeah, he like they kind of explained. He just summoned them and okay. Huh? You won't have anything to do in that case. But if you don't mind being bored, then that's fine with me. If you prefer to leave your post, please let me know that I may prepare a fight in your stead. Huh, don't get your panties in a twist. I was just kidding. Good, I'm glad to hear that. Oh, it's moderate. Anyway, just so you know, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna end up killing him this time. Do as you like. I have no right to stop you. Alright, don't mind if I do then. Besides, just standing around keeping watch is boring as crap. Anyway, he can't even fight anymore though. Maybe his companions will pick up the slack. Could I speak with you for a moment, sir? Alright, come in. Thank you. Don't mind them. Now what is it? Oh, right. Mr. Voyager is here to see you. He said he's completed his research and he thinks he should be able to appraise the dagger. I see. What about Lin Zhu? Where is she now? She's in the waiting room hoping to see you as usual, although... Yes? Well, she was a bit more agitated to see you today than usual. She kept asking me where you were and when she might be able to meet you. Haha, what? You having some lady troubles, big guy? No. What do you make of it? I think she wants to sell the dagger after all. I definitely got the impression she's in serious need of money. Then why wouldn't she put the dagger up for auction? Right, I had the same thought. If she's that agitated, then there must be something keeping her from auctioning. There you go. He's suspicious. He's going to try to find out a reason. That reason will be a fake reason, but he'll accept it because it's something that he was doubtful about and then got to know about it. And yeah, that would be the truth for him. I don't know if there's something, if that's something is a lack of time or something else, but already bored, moderate out. Alright, do take good care of the Holy Grail, please. Then it's just as I thought, there is something to that dagger. Do you think it might be a counterfeit? If it were, she would have brought something a little more convincing. Counterfeit paintings are typically Vermeers, Van Goghs and Picassos. With poetry you tend to see counterfeits from the Emperor of China's Southern Song dynasty. But to claim that a rusty old dagger like that was used in an attempted assassination of Qin Shi Huang, there must be hell of a story behind it, counterfeit or not. Alright, I'll go meet with Mr. Voyager first. Good day, sir. Hello. Thank you for coming, Mr. Voyager. Shall we adjourn to my office? Actually, before we get to that, are you the curator of this museum? Yes, I am. And who might you be? My name is Watanabe. I'm here on behalf of Japan's Imperial Household Agency. Tell me, is a woman naming herself Lin Zhu here? Oh, here we go. She is, isn't she? Then I'd like you to bring her here. We've only just met and you're already making demands. Not what I would expect from a Japanese officer. I apologize for my bluntness, but I'm afraid the situation is more precarious than it may seem. What situation is that? She's suspected of selling priceless artifacts which she illegally obtained from Japan's Shoshosin treasury. Alright, that's a very good convincing reason now, I guess you could say. So it is, so it's kind of going to be proved that that is like an authentic dagger. And after Voyager even says that, oh, this is authentic, then it'll be sealed. The deal will be sealed. I'm here to investigate those suspicions. I see, this is quite a development. Mr. Voyager, I trust you're here about the matter we discussed previously. That's right, did you want to talk about it here? Not. Let's adjourn to my office. Okay. I'm afraid I can't be of any help to you, Mr. Watanabe. Yes, Miss Lin did pay our museum a visit quite a few days ago, but I'm afraid I haven't seen her since. I believe she said she was staying in one of the nearby hotels. Maybe you would perhaps find her there. I've already searched every hotel in this area. Still, I can see you're busy right now, so I'll peruse the museum in the meantime. Now, if you'll excuse me. That was close, huh? I'm afraid I don't know what you mean. Right, of course you don't. Come, let's be on our way. I see. So if what you've told me is correct, then that dagger may actually be... Yes, I think it's almost certainly genuine. According to the boy appraiser, the dagger Jinkei used in the attempt of Qin Shi Huang's life is confirmed to have been stored in the treasury in Zhanyang, the capital of the Qin dynasty. The problem is what happened to it afterwards. In the years that followed, Xinjiang, the land known as Chang'an, experienced a great deal of tumult. First, it was razed to the ground and plundered by Zhang Yu during the Shu-Han contention. Then it was plunged into war again when Liu Bang renewed his efforts to wrest control of China from Zhang Yu. Eventually, Liu Bang succeeded and named Chang'an the capital of the newly found Han dynasty. This is where further concrete records of Jinkei's dagger seems to disappear. After the Han dynasty ended, the Jing dynasty was formed in its place, only to soon fall into ruin itself thanks to the Red Eyebrows revolt. Oh, okay. The Red Eyebrows made off with every precious item in Chang'an's vaults, most of them never to be seen again. From then on, throughout the latter Han Three Kingdoms, Wei period, Jin dynasties, there remains no surviving mention of Jinkei's dagger. But then, during the Shui dynasty, it resurfaced. In the third year of Da Ye, Emperor Yang, the infamous tyrant of the Sui dynasty, left his capital city of Luoyang to take a trip to Chang'an. During his trip, a family that had lived in Chang'an for generations presented him with a dagger they claimed had once belonged to none other than Jinkei. And this is the old document I tracked down that proves it. Mr. Voyager then took out a photograph of a wooden parchment that had been excavated near Chang'an. It did indeed say that a dagger said to belong to Jinkei has been preserved to Emperor Yang during his visit. But then all mentions of the dagger once again vanished from the historical record. And there exists no record of it ever being discovered anywhere in the Chinese history. No matter how much Mr. Voyager searched, it was as if the dagger had simply disappeared after entering Emperor Yang's possession. Even the histories taken from its recently discovered grave made no mention of it. So I decided to approach it from a different angle. Japan, then referred to as a nation of Wa, was one of the nations which engaged in trade with the Sui dynasty. However, a problem arose with Emperor Yang during their second embassy expedition. From the child of heaven from the land of the rising sun to the child of heaven from the land of the setting sun, I pray that your journey home is safe and uneventful. Such were the words in the letter from the Japanese ruler to Emperor Yang. Theories abound as to what might have ignited the emperor's anger. One says he took offense at the title Child of Heaven being used for someone other than himself. Another, that he thought the phrases rising sun and setting sun made it seem as though Sui was being looked down upon. Whatever the cause, history is clear about one thing: Emperor Yang was absolutely furious. Yet despite his anger, the two nations continued to trade and interact. According to Mr. Voyager, there is indeed a record of Emperor Yang presenting the Japanese ambassador with some manner of gift during the second embassy expedition. But could that gift truly have been something as precious as one of China's national treasures? It may seem unusual, but considering from the emperor's perspective, it makes perfect sense. The dagger had withstood numerous challenges to come within a centimeter of Qin Shi Huang's throat. Oh yeah, maybe like he intended that as like a, I don't know, like a threat or something? Because he was furious at, given that it nearly succeeded in assassinating a former emperor, the current one was none too pleased to possess it. There you go. Yet it was also too valuable to simply discard or destroy. Yeah, so this was perfect for him to, okay. Not to mention that either option would require publicly explaining his reasons for doing so. Could the emperor truly trust his subordinates with such a thing? Would he trust them to take a dagger which came perilously close to ending the first emperor of China's life and actually destroy it? In the worst case, they may even find themselves entranced by the dagger and decide to turn it against him. So I think that's why he chose to part with it like this. It would have safely disposed of something he didn't want and couldn't destroy, and it would also serve as a type of revenge. Yeah, like I said, that's why. So then how did Japan react? The ambassador must have known the Sui emperor was furious, yet he had still been given a precious treasure. He may not have known the dagger story, but he must have known it had a sordid past. But all the same, he couldn't simply discard it either. It was still a gift from the valuable trade ally after all. So, the ambassador had no choice but to preserve the dagger carefully and take it back to Japan. Japan. As proof, Mr. Voyager then took out several more photos and documents. One of them was an ambassador's report from the second expedition which described what took place in Sui China. According to the report, the Emperor of Sui had called for a meeting with the Japanese delegation, though he had been apoplectic only one day prior. They thought the Emperor was going to have them put to death, but instead he smiled and gave them several valuable items from his treasury. However, the envoy who wrote the report found it strange. While he could accept that the Emperor may have had a change of heart, he also couldn't help but notice the look of relief that crossed his face, as though a great weight had been lifted from his shoulders. So, you're saying Jinkei's dagger left China in the time of the Sui dynasty, made its way to Japan, and was eventually placed in Shoshin treasury about 150 years later? Okay, the whole, thing that we got to know here, the story, is that real? Or is this something that fate made up? Like, is this like an actual history record that we're hearing? Or is this something that just is here for the stories, for the story to move forward? However, since the record of offerings only refers to it as a short sword, right, I couldn't find conclusive evidence that it was actually Jinkei's dagger, but given the Shoshin's history, I think it's very possible it could be. Yep. This is the curator. Tell Linju I'll see her tomorrow. Alright, that worked. Ooh, that was quite convincing, not gonna lie. Finally, it feels like I've been waiting forever. I apologize for the wait. Now, about the dagger. Yes? Let me get right to the point. Will you sell it to us? Well, that is what you were ultimately after, isn't it? A man named Watanabe is here looking for you on behalf of Japan's Imperial Household Agency. I assume you would have rather avoid him if possible? Well, don't worry, I'm prepared to offer you a fair deal. I've taken the liberty of putting a number to that. Alright, I'll sell it to you. Excellent, then let's... Attention all visitors, the museum will soon be closing. Thank you for coming, we hope to see you again soon. Sir, is that Amakusa Shirou? That Watanabe guy is still here. Oh, never mind. I thought we're going to, the whole operation is going to go down now. That Watanabe guy is still here. Leave him be. Just don't let him come in here. Yes, sir. Now then, Mrs. Lin. Miss Lin, if you could donate a dagger to us. Donate, but that's not... Donate? What? Don't worry, you will be fully compensated. Okay. But for our purposes, we would like to remain a benevolent third party. I see. I don't get it. Where's the donating thing come from? Like, it's a pretense, I'm guessing. Like, he's saying that he would compensate her. However, like, it is seeming, it'll be seen that she's donating it. Something like that. I don't know. A museum can buy an there you go, like I said, can buy an item it knows it's stolen. It's unethical. That's why I donate. But if they bought it without knowing that, then they can't be held responsible. We know nothing about where this dagger came from, and you have never told us anything. I assume that's acceptable? Alright, I'll trust you. Here it is. Mr. Voyager, if you'd be so kind. Okay. It's okay if I start with Japan's embassy expeditions to Swiss China, right? Yes, that's fine. Big brother, could you give me my tools, please? There you go, Voyager. Thanks. Well, it's the real thing, no mistake. The age of the rust, the makeup of the poison. There are several factors that indicate its identity, but the one that clinched it is its styling. An ordered and firm agreement. This is the savage wolf fang that nearly pierced Qin Shi Huang's throat. Of course, there would still be something eerie about it, even if the age had clearly taken its toll. So you agree that it's genuine, yes? Then, indeed, here is your check. But first, I'd like you to sign this contract. It's a contract that states you donated the dagger to us willingly and that you forfeit all future claim to it. And this is the dagger's history as you described it. Some details have been changed, of course. Here, the dagger has been a secret family heirloom of yours for generations. I have to say, this is a very convincing act that the whole thing is going on. You know? The curator is definitely like fully convinced now. Like the whole thing that happened, you know, it's too much of a complicated situation and like the whole story that we got to see. Like it's too, what can I say? It's too descriptive for him to even suspect that this is a lie. I understand. And here is your appraisal fee, Mr. Voyager. Isn't this too much? Consider it a little incentive to keep this transaction just between us. Well, okay, I guess that's how it has to be. Wait, you know what? We kind of got money for this, you know? Like, I'm guessing, oh no, maybe if we go back, the money will disappear or something since it's from this singularity. I don't know how it'll work. But no, we can do something. If the operation is not today, we can spend it in this singularity. You know, I don't know, like by eating something. Like you cannot buy something if, like, you know, I'm not sure if the stuff that we bring from the singularity will disappear if the singularity disappears. So if that's the case, we cannot buy anything materialistic. So just use this money to eat like a hearty meal in like a 5-star restaurant or something. I don't know. Because, you know, like, I feel like food is the best bet here. Because it'll be in our stomach and it'll be digested. So even if the singularity disappears, there's no way the food can disappear. Something like I don't know what I'm even going on about. Anyways, thank you for understanding. Okay then, the only item I appraised here was Akai's shield. I appreciate your help with that very much. Is something wrong? Mr. Curator? Did you know that the shield was a counterfeit when you put it on display? Oh, of course not. That can be an easy way to live. Yeah. You wish to see me, sir? I did. I'd like you to put this dagger up on display immediately. It's the dagger Jinkei used in his attempted assassination of Qin Shi Huang. Understood. Where shall I display it? Let's make it exhibit room 3. It would draw too much attention in room 1. Understood. No, wait, I just remembered. That calling card business. I'll take it there myself, along with some of the security detail. If you run into Mr. Watanabe, I want you to stall him as long as you can. We can't have him seizing it by force after coming this far. Understood. This guy's acting a little bit weird. Is he like someone in disguise or something? Maybe not. You know, because in this type of scenarios, Phantom Thief scenarios, there's usually like the Phantom Thief disguises as like one of the staff members or something. Say, since my brother and I are already here, would it be okay if we come along and watch you put it on display? Yes, that should be fine. You hear that, Voyager? That's great. Okay, if you're all done here, I think I'd better get going. Squad A is here, sir. Good, let's go. Oh, here we are. Oh, put it there, in that case, please. Yes, sir. Are you three still here? Oh, okay. Sure are. Oh, no. Oh, no. Who are these guys? Oh, boy. It's alright, they're with me. Now, what about the Phantom Thief? Yeah, he's still headed this way. He ought to be here any moment now. Mr. Curator? The hell? What's the kid doing here? He's been assisting with our acquisition of this dagger. Don't worry about him. Hello? Man, this is really throwing me off. Now then, it's 1 hour past closing time. The Phantom Thief will supposedly be here soon. Alright. You're working stiff. Get out here. Yeah, I'm coming. Oh no. Hajime-san is here. Ooh, does that mean it's my turn too? Who is this? Okay, who's this person? You shut up. Okie dokie. Okay, boss, go ahead and lock the case. Alright. Sir? What are you doing? I thought I told you to keep that door shut. I'm sorry, sir. I tried, but Mr. Watanabe... Pardon me. Take it easy, will ya? What's the meaning of this, Mr. Watanabe? I'll thank you to refrain from roughhousing in my museum. Lin Shu just confessed that she sold you a dagger. Oh, here we go. You mean this dagger? Yes, now please hand it over so I can return it to where it belongs. Where it belongs. Now that's a strange thing to say. What was that? Yeah, you see, I had this contract that said that she donated this to me. So, first of all, Miss Lin didn't sell this dagger to us. She donated it. According to her, it's the very dagger used in the attempted assassination of Jin Shi Huang. That's right. May I ask why that's relevant? Why would a dagger like that have been kept in Japan? Surely you would expect to find an artifact like this in some home country of China, no? If a dagger as valuable as this made its way to Japan at some point, there would surely be some record of it. And yet, as far as I'm aware, no such record exists. If you can prove that this dagger was being kept at the Soshuin treasury, then I simply cannot take you at your word. Never mind that crap now, big shot. He's here. Okay. Damn it, of all the times. So he's just waltzing in through the front door, huh? Some phantom thief he is. Hey, what's the working stiff? I do have a name, you know, but whatever. It's not important. Anywho, let's kill him. Whoa. What was that? Was that an arrow? Firstly, a true phantom thief must be a lady and or a gentleman. Secondly, a true phantom thief must always be elegant in their every action. And thirdly, a true phantom thief never gives up. And so, this elegant gentleman and lady has persisted in coming here tonight to take the Holy Grail. Lady, what? Yes, it is I, Phantom Thief Moriarty. Yeah, I'm not seeing the whole lady thing. You are. Also, aren't you Japanese? Well, yes, I am. I suppose there's not much point to properly introducing myself now, but my true name is Amakusa Shirou Tokisada. Really? No kidding. Damn, this is actually kind of hard to believe. Can I ask you something? Were you always a phantom thief? I don't think so. Only by circumstances. Yes, that's me, Amakusa Shirou Tokisada. Phantom thief by circumstance. Oh, gotcha. Just like how you're a salaryman by circumstance. I'll say this for the guy, at least he's entertaining. Doesn't look like he'll put up much of a fight though. Okay, time to cut this punk thief down to size. Don't you mean phantom thief? I know what I said. Quit looking at me like that or I'll grind your ass. At any rate, as a phantom thief, I'm afraid I won't be taking part in any battles today. I've only come to steal the grail. Is that so? Well, too bad for you, cause you're not gonna steal anything. Whoa there. Damn. Stand still, will ya? This is all getting out of hand. Let's get out of here, Mr. Voyager, Mr. Watanabe. Oh, and Mr. Watanabe, I'd still like to talk about... What was that? I just sensed a surge of magical energy. There's servants here besides Amakusa. No, wait, hang on. This can't be right. I don't know if they were using presence concealment or some kind of magecraft or what, but I just realized something stupidly obvious. This whole room is chock freaking full of servants. Oh yeah, that's true. I'll take care of this. Huh? Rin Biao To Sha Kai Jin. This side said. Mount Oi. Bodhi Oni Slayer. What the? Mr. Watanabe? Watanabe, that intense sword fighter's aura. No way. Is that Watanabe no Suna? Suna? You've never heard of him? Watanabe no Suna is the greatest monster slayer, Oni slayer, in Japanese history. It's a bit embarrassing hearing that said out loud. As you can see, just because I can kill Oni doesn't mean I'm well suited for fighting people. Hey, boss. Yes? What's the deal with this guy? Is he an enemy or an ally? What? I didn't know what to make of it. I understood that this man claiming to have come from Japan was a servant. Everything's getting so confusing here. But instead of attacking us, he went after the phantom thief. As a servant, I thought he would be allied with the thief, but if he was, why would he attack his ally? I don't know what to make of it. Well, yeah, so this is like a whole deception thing that's going on. To make him... Okay. I was so confused, my head felt like it was spinning. And so I didn't realize until it was too late that the confusion itself must have been what the phantom thief was hoping for. Exactly. Either way, now that he cut down the thief guy, does that mean our job here is done? That's still the matter of Mr. Watanabe. For the moment, I brought a doctor. Wow, even more confusion. Huh? What are you talking about? I mean, I'm sure the thief here would appreciate a doctor's help, but... It's true, doctors are very important. Let me see the patient. I'll do whatever I can to help. Oh wow, this is the most chaotic. Ugh. Who are you? Are you a new hire? We don't need a doctor here. Get out. Oh my god. No, wait. Why are you dressed like that? Are you really a doctor? Yes, I am. A doctor whose spell has apparently worn off. Oh god damn it, not you too. Another servant. Why couldn't I tell by looking at him? You can't thank my magecraft disguise for that. So then, does that mean... Me? Yeah. Oh my god. Me? Yep, I'm a servant too, of course. The curator there seemed to notice I was here while I was concealing my presence. But I guess he never did catch on that I was also the woman who came to see him about the historic dagger. Yeah, what the hell? Where did all these goddamn servants come from? Where were you hiding all this time? How come we didn't notice you sooner? You all look like a bunch of regular humans up until now. Don't worry, security guard. Your eyes weren't playing tricks on you. Our disguises were just that good. On that note, let me reintroduce myself. I'm not really Lin Jiu. My true name is Jin Kei. I'm the assassin with the poisoned fang who left on a journey from which she did not return. Sorry for the tricking you all. Come on, so you pawned off your own dagger to us. Then you mean the dagger is a real... It sure is not a fake. It's as real as they come. That said, I'll be taking it back. Yeah. Well, it's not a relic meant for display. I'm still using it for killing even now. I can't believe it. No, wait, Mr. Voyager, don't tell me. I know where this is going. Next, he'll be like, wait, the Brick Brother, Mr. Fujimaru, don't tell me you. And Fujimaru will be like, no, I'm a normal human. Don't tell me. I'm a servant too. Sorry for tricking you. And I'm the Voyager space probe, so there you go. Hey, you're not a servant too, are you? There you go, just like I said. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Oh, give me a break. Up until now, I thought I had a pretty good eye for telling servants apart from regular people. Don't worry, working stiff. That guy might not be right in the head, but he's 100% human. Okay, I feel like I've, this thing of... Where was this? I remember there being like a joke like this where someone was like figuring something out about a group of people, just like it's happening here now. Like they're like, oh, you're a servant? Don't tell me you're also a servant. Don't tell me you're also a servant. Like this, like what was going on. Like a similar joke like this. And then in the end, someone was like, oh, don't tell me you're also, and that person or whatever was like, oh no, I'm completely normal. And he was like, oh, phew, thank God. What was it? Was that an anime? Or was that like some other movie, TV show? What was it? I remember there being a joke like this somewhere I've seen. And it was quite popular as well. It was like, I don't think it was a meme, but it was quite like a popular scene. I don't remember. There was like a similar joke like this somewhere I've seen. But anyways, don't worry, Working Stiff. That guy might not be right in the head, but he's 100% human. You can't trust my intuition on that one. Thanks, Mo. Man, I figured there would be more of you, but I had no idea there'd be this many. What the? So this is all of you, right? Awesome. Thanks for lining your heads up nice and neat for us. Now, let's chop them off at... What? Something wrong? They got us. The Holy Grail is gone. Huh? Well, I'll be damned. I guess that's what all this nonsense was building to. The hell are you talking about? Take a look at the case. The case? Huh? What the? This! It's gone! Whoa, what the hell? When the hell did that happen? The case is supposed to be super tough, right? Of course. Not even you or I could break it unless we hit it with something powerful. But we did see a powerful attack here just a moment ago, remember? Ah, Tuna, yeah, that's what it did. You... Yes, it was me. Though I honestly didn't know if it would work. I can't take the credit, that goes for the great European wordsmith. Shakespeare? What is it, playwright? I haven't heard half as many barbs from you today as I'm used to. I knew I might be in for a few rush jobs when I was first summoned as a servant, but I never dreamed I would one day be asked to come up with a script that would allow someone to cut through inanimate objects without harming living things. Damn. And to deliver it within a day of no less. I see, that does sound like quite a task. You didn't fail, did you? Haha, don't be absurd. But to quote myself, so quick bright things come to confusion. Lamentably, I only managed to create a phantasmal strike that would work but one time. Phew, I'm truly exhausted. I don't blame you. That certainly is an unusual request. I wonder what our master wished to cut with it. Yes. How is that even possible? How could anyone cut through the cage protecting the Holy Grail without harming the person standing in front of it? Mordred and I could never pull that off, but hey, they obviously figured out a way to make the impossible possible. That is what servants do, I suppose. I don't know who I'm more impressed with, that Watanabe guy, or the phantom thief who stood here and took his attack. Huh? Come on, you could tell Watanabe there was seriously trying to kill that guy, right? That's why we didn't even notice the thief. Yeah, exactly. There ain't many servants out there who could brush off an attack like that. If they didn't just die, they'd definitely be knocked out of commission. Hell, some of them might even outright disappear. Yeah, I guess it's true. The thief must have taken advantage of the one moment when none of us paying him any attention. So what do we do now, sir? Fighting these servants now isn't gonna bring the Holy Grail back. I suppose you're right. It seems like we've been outmatched. Hang on, this might not be over just yet. What do you mean? It looks like the caster master's gone after him. Maybe we still got a chance after. Okay, so the other guy's a caster, obviously. So who is it? Alright, let's go. One moment, please. What? Since it seems that battle would decide how things end, do you mind if we go with you? Of course we mind. Why would he even ask? What if I'm the only one helping him? Does that change anything? Really? You think you're the only one who's gonna help him? Do what you want. Alright, come out where I can see you. Oh, it's Mephisto. Good lord. Yeah. Very well then. Hello, good day, and all the jazz. Ah, I see. So it was you, Mephistopheles. Oh, you know who I am? I know you and Kali at least. We get along quite well. Really? You don't seem like the merry sort I would usually befriend. Then again, I suppose that outfit of yours says otherwise. I doubt you're going to let me get away, so I suppose we have no choice but to fight. Then what are you going to do? Didn't you have your ability to fight taken? Oh, you have it back now. Oh wait, yeah. Since it was the Holy Grail that took my... Okay, makes sense. Abilities away in the first place. It makes sense that I could use it to restore them. Though I can't say I like the idea of phantom thieves fighting, it's usually not our thing. I may well be willing to let you go, depending on your motive. That devilish grin of yours would seem to suggest otherwise. This museum's curator has a truly wonderful motive for keeping the Holy Grail here, you see. I'm a reasonable jester. If your reasons are more interesting, I'm willing to change my mind. Then as a point of reference, may I ask what the curator's motive might be? Yeah. It's not simply collecting for the sake of collecting, is it? Of course not. No, this museum's curator. Okay. Okay, obviously they're not going to tell us. They're going to tell us in the end. Man, he's a lot faster than I would have guessed. Why did you follow me? You must know it could get dangerous. As a master, I figure I'm obligated to look this through to the end. I see. Now, I understand. That definitely seems to make sense. I'm afraid our simple wish pales in comparison. Oh, and what is that wish? Save the world, no more, no less. Simple, right? Damn. It even pays to that comparison of saving the world. And you say there's no self-interest involved in that wish whatsoever? What do you think, Master? Huh? Do you think our wish to save the world is a selfish one? Selfish? I wouldn't call it selfish. It does have a little self-interest in it. But it's not selfish. I do. No, I don't think selfish is the correct word to use here. Like, I don't know, selfish? What he said that it does has a bit of self-interest. Definitely, I would agree with that. But not selfish. Selfish is like a negative word, I guess you could say. Well now, just like that, huh? Oh ho! I'm doing this because I don't want to simply watch things happen. Yeah, it's not selfish. You would say that it has self-interest in it. Selfish is too much of a harsh word to use in that manner, I guess. That certainly is an interesting answer, but it's not the one I would enjoy unless I stuck around for a long time. Oh, I'm so afraid I have to stick to the curator this time. Sorry about that, Master of Caldia. Shall we then? Oh yes, we shall. This should be fun. The flamboyant phantom thief versus the most fearful jester. Now then, are you ready to begin? How about you, Master? Are you ready? Yes, let's do this. You got it, Master. My arms are the very laws that open the gates. They are a gift from the heavens themselves, which is why I am ready to say here and now. For my last act as a phantom thief, I'm going to steal this Holy Grail. Yes. Okay, let's go. Obviously this will be a, forced, formation thing. But not to worry, Amakusa Shirou is the ruler, so it should be quite easy. Yeah, it will be easy, no problem. Oh my god. What the hell? Single charge, increase buster attack, resist. I'm gonna keep this for later. Cooldown 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mobilize servant. Alright. Now use this. Yep. Nice. Ooh. And that takes care of that, I think. Yes. Twin big crunch. Yes. There you go. That's quite an easy fight. No? Ah. Okay, wait, how much is left? Alright, you know what? I'm not gonna keep this for another day. Let's just complete it. Alright. The Phantom Thief's satisfied smile. Alright. I'm sure we'll get to know what the curator's reason is here. Gotcha. I guess you win this one. What a shame. What a pity. You put up quite a fight. Anyway, now that it's taken care of, I'll be leaving with the Holy Grail. What do you want to do, boss? We could probably get it back if you both rush him. Don't bother. The Holy Grail's already been taken out of the museum. Huh? It's been stolen. I have to accept that. It's only fair, seeing that as I once stole it myself. Oh, here we go. Huh? You stole that Holy Grail? I did. That's why I always told myself that I would let it go if it was ever stolen from me. Ah. Thank you. Tell me, what are you going to use it for? This Holy Grail contains vast amount of magical energy. It could probably let us do just about anything Magecraft is capable of. But I'm afraid it's not quite enough when you have a world that needs saving. So, you want to save the world. I can't say that's a very inspired choice. You, on the other hand, wanted to collect every artifact of every hero that has existed. Yeah, why? So that you could raise the heroes of tomorrow. Oh, interesting. Oh wow, that's kind of interesting. The heroes of tomorrow. The future generation, I think he's talking about. I'm a more modest wish. It's a more modest wish than it would sound. Every time a nation changes or an era comes to an end, heroes disappear and their relics are lost to time. I only wanted to stop that from happening, to preserve their mementos, display them and pass them on to future generations. There you go, like I said, the future generation. For ordinary people like us, heroes are the stuff of dreams. They are the light that gave us hope. That's why you wanted to collect them, even if they happened to be national treasures that belong to other countries. You were willing to give everything you had for this dream, even if it ended up causing problems abroad? Of course. Why? Why would you go so far as that? Surely there's a certain romance in these artifacts, but still. Heroes can't save people just by being heroes. That alone simply isn't enough. Huh? We need to see their former possessions for ourselves to know that they were, I guess that's true. To know that they were legends or fairy tales, but real breathing flesh and blood people. And then only we will be like, yeah, if they can do it, we can do it as well. Without that knowledge, our admiration for them can only take us so far. The only thing that truly inspires people to become heroes themselves is seeing that other heroes really existed. I've seen that happen time and time again. I've seen how brightly the remains of heroes gone by shine in the eyes of people of today. I see, now I understand. You aren't a human, and you're not a ghost or a spirit either. You're a concept that used the Holy Grail to assume a physical form. Oh, wow. Say, for instance, the concept of the museum. I guess I could see that, he is the museum in himself. Yeah. Wait, so you're the museum? Yes, that's right. I am the nameless curator of the museum and the very concept of museum curators everywhere. Museums are meant to display things some found beautiful or inspiring. And they've been meant to do so in a manner that allows everyone to see them. A painting one museum puts on display may directly inspire the next generation's artist. A sculpture in another museum may inspire another budding artist to strike out into a entirely different field. So the artifacts I've collected here may just end up creating the heroes of tomorrow. That is my wish and this museum's true essence. But it seems like its time has come to an end. Oh, here we go, here's a fan. Curator? It looks like I can no longer maintain human form either. Well, that's a shame. A shame. If you truly think so, then would you consider leaving the Holy Grail here with me? No. Without it, every work of art in this museum will disappear, and myself along with it. A concept with a grafted-on personality like myself can never hope to survive without a grail. Have you no compassion? Have you no heart? Come on. No, I don't. Your wish may indeed be a good one, but the fact of the matter is, our needs outweigh your desires. When two noble interests compete like this, the only way to decide which will win is to fight. And yeah, we already did that. Might does not necessarily make you right. No, it doesn't. And I don't like to think of myself as being especially mighty either. But now that I've been summoned as a servant, I have to win, no matter what. What about you? What do you think? I'm sorry, I wish we didn't have to take the grail, but we do. I see. Hey, do your eyes still work? Think A. Then get a good look at this while you can. This is my blade, the one that failed to reach Jinshi Wang's throat. It's beautiful. I'm sorry for tricking you like that, I really am, but the thing is, this blade still has some life in it. Even now I keep polishing it so that it helps me right the world's wrongs and get rid it for evil. I see, then it wouldn't be right to put it on display, yeah. This museum's collection has to be of artifacts from the past, true. Yeah, and the Holy Grail we need it in the present, that's why. Yeah. How beautiful, how inspiring. Art can only be created when our most basic needs have been met. Yeah, understandable. History is the time spun from our obsessions. No matter how many eras pass by or how stagnant the times may become, as long as there are moments that speak directly to our hearts, both art and history will continue to exist. But this museum can only display relics of the past which have no work yet to complete. Not works of art that are still taking shape. It wouldn't be right to make exhibits of objects which are still being used. I see, so that means, yeah, we'll take the grail. The Holy Grail's role is still not complete. No, it isn't. Our journey has yet to reach its end. So, we'd like you to wait just a little longer for us to finish it. What he said. I can't accept this. My attachments and obsessions refuse to allow me to let go. But then again, if they are still in the middle of their journey and the heroics remain as yet incomplete, then perhaps I simply have no choice. I look forward to your next visit. Oh, there you go. Yeah, guess that's that then. Yeah, this sure ain't the way I would have chosen to end this, but oh well. You think? I've had a lot of fun personally. Later, yes, Stiff. Next time we meet, I hope it's on the opposing side. That way I'll get to give you the ass kicking you so richly deserve. Good one. But I've always made a point to never get into fights with people stronger than me. Oh my god. Anyway, see you guys around. Make sure you put that Holy Grail, the stolen Holy Grail, to good use. And Mephisto's going to go as well. I've confirmed the Holy Grail is safely in our possession. Initiating return sequence now. Great job, everyone. I guess it's over then. Way to go, guys. I can't say I'm not a little disappointed that we really never got to fight anyone, but oh well. It was kind of fun pretending to be someone else. I hadn't done that since I was still alive. I, for one, enjoyed being a physician and helping people. Yes, this was nice. It just goes to show that not every problem needs to be solved by violence. How about you, Watanabe no Suna? What did you think of the mission? To be perfectly honest, yes, I was a little scared to cut down an ally. I'm really sorry about that. It's nothing you need to apologize for, Master. If anyone owes us an apology, it's Amakusa Shirou. Haha, sorry about that. I also would have liked to spend a little more time perusing the museum. There were many fascinating things here I would have liked to observe more closely. But those are ultimately of little concern. As long as I was able to contribute to this brilliant feast, there is more than enough for me. Thanks for coming up with this, Ama. Alright everyone, this is where we part ways. What? Yeah, he's a phantom thief, so yeah. But, you know. Huh? Where did it come from? Where are you talking about? Well, I am a phantom thief right now. Huh? Well, yes, that's true, but... And you'll never expect a phantom thief to make their getaway via ray shift, could you? So how are you going to get back? I see. So you wish to make your exit in a manner befitting a phantom thief. That's right. So, on that note, Master, my fellow servants, the Holy Grail is mine. Farewell. Oh boy. And he's flying away now. Phantom Thief's laughter echoed across the cold moonlit sea. He leapt from rooftop to rooftop as though he were dancing into the sky itself. He seemed to fly, free as a bird, the entire world his oyster. And as they silently looked up at him, the boy, probe, assassin, doctor, samurai, all had the same thought. He'd better not try to keep that Holy Grail for himself. The Holy Grail is mine. The Phantom Thief continued to laugh, paying no heed to the suspicious looks aimed his way. And we're back. What if we did something with the roof? We could cut the whole thing off and jump down before anyone knew what was happening. If we can destroy the case without being found out, we can just take the whole thing, case and all. I'm pretty sure they'd catch you in that act right away. I must say, Professor, I expected you to come up with something a bit more elegant. I'm afraid heavily guarded places just aren't well suited to thefts. They call for physical spectacle. No such places are ideal for psychological traps, such as the one you employed here. Still, even in my dotage, complete with my poor, much based back, I am still the Napoleon of crime. Somebody say my name? I didn't mean you. Anyways, the thing you really gotta be careful about when attacking museums or churches is the aftermath. Trust me on that one. I still think we should find a way to eliminate the 3 servants without fighting them. They're the biggest obstacle in our way after all. Wait, are they like playing a game or something? What's going on here? What about a big net? One big enough to snag the Grail and its case? Very well then. Let's go over our options one more time. They're playing a roleplay game, aren't they? Hey prof, quit trying to seduce Voyager to a life of crime. Come on, brother Suna, don't you let him get away with this either. Oh my god. Okay. Whoa, what the? Oh, hello. Is this Shimabara? Okay. Yes, it is. Well, my mind skills version of it anyway. This place has always existed right alongside peace ever since the dawn of time. I was here when I was alive, and it's here in your time too. No matter the era or the place, there will always be someone hiding and crying behind the illusion of peace. But even so, coming here now never fails to make me relax. Why is that? Because I'm the only one here. There's no one around moaning in agony and no one trying desperately to leave something of value behind. It's completely deserted with the only flames for company. That's why I can relax here. After all, what could it be better than a hell without people? But you're still here, right? That's okay, I'm used to hell. Do you think I should try to get used to it too? Good question. There would certainly be pros and cons to it. Personally, I can't say I'm in favor. Yes, once you get used to hell, you may be able to see gruesome sights without freaking out. But, at least for Fujimaru here, who is looking forward to a future, a bright future, for him to experience this is probably going to take something out of that expectation of a bright future. You know, the naivety, the hopefulness, and the way Fujimaru looks at everything in a good manner is something that is needed to save the world here. And getting a big slap of reality in this situation will be counterproductive in my opinion. I think so, because we need Fujimaru to be hopeful and bright amongst so many servants, because most of the servants, that exist have gone through quite a lot of hell. And the reason why Fujimaru is so, I guess you could say, so inspiring to them is because Fujimaru is, you could say, is still hopeful, is untainted, if you can, express it in that way. And that's why he's a beacon of hope to all the servants. And we need, Fujimaru to keep being a beacon of hope unless and until we actually save the world. The ability to adapt to all manner of hardship is one of humanity's greatest strength after all, and that, okay, I can see that. But the consequence of getting used to something is that, by definition, you become desensitized to it. There you go. So once you get used to hell like this, you may no longer see life as precious. And that's definitely not a good thing. There can't be anything missing from the ordinary times we're trying to take back. We need to restore everything, or all your hard work will be wasted. That's why only the dead should be here. Now, wake up, Master. You still have a long journey ahead of you. Okay, I will. Great. Well, see you at Chaldean. There is good and evil in this world, and evil always wins. One man could not tolerate this injustice, and so he tried to steal the happiness from the impossibly distant future. He never managed to make it there, but that didn't slow him down. He cracked a wry smile at his lot in life. No matter how he struggled or how many defeats he faced, nothing could stop him from dreaming of a happier future. And so, he would steal again. He would steal happiness, peace, and love and distribute them all equally. He would travel the world, steal fate and retribution, and leave them to rot. He would steal all the evil from this world and in its place share only the good. For that is what a phantom thief is meant to do. Yes. And there you go, that is it. So I thought I needed like 2 videos to do this, but I was able to complete it in one. So there you go. And there it is, the Holy Grail. And there you go, that was it. The other notes have been unlocked, yep. And now I confirm. So that's it, guys. That was the end of Amakusa Shirou and the Slapstick Museum. That was a very, very interesting story. You know, like it had an interesting, I wouldn't call it a twist, but like a conclusion as to the curator being the museum itself and what it wanted to do. It wanted to pass this on to the future, that type of thing. And yeah, and I really liked the way they constructed this whole phantom thief thing. The whole story that they came up with was very detailed for it to be even considered as fake. So that was pretty well done. However, I do wonder, like I said, is everything that was told here, the story about, like, you know, like how the knife came from the possession of Jin Kei to, like, it came to Japan, was that like actually true, or is it like some story that FGO made up for this event? That's something that I don't know. Let me know if you know about it. Either way, that was it. Thanks for watching, guys. This was my final video, my gameplay for Amakusa Shirou and the Slapstick Museum. And okay, let me check. I think the next event is Akihabara Exposition, something like that it's called. Let me just check. And it's going to come soon, isn't it? I think like within a few more days, like 3 or 4 days it's going to come. No, 5 to 6 days I think. Let me just check. Just a minute, where is it? Okay, here we go, future events. Alright, the next one is, Akihabara. Oh, there's like 2 events coming back to back. One is going to come in March and the other one is April. The one in March is Akihabara Explosion. Oh, Explosion, okay. Alright, in JP it came out in March 24th. So I'm guessing in NA, since stuff are getting a little bit like, you know, earlier, coming a little bit earlier, it'll be probably be like 16th or 17th, sometime like that this will come, I'm guessing. And the one after that is Grey Life. Now Grey Life is an event that I've been waiting for. It's going to come in April, I'm guessing, that I've been waiting for, because I think this has plenty of costumes as far as I know. It has a lot of costumes, doesn't it? Like, I think Ushiwaka gets a costume, Nero gets a costume, like something like that. Like a lot of costumes here, which I'm really looking forward to, because I remember loving all the costumes. Especially, I loved Ushiwaka's costume the most. Yeah, Jun has a costume, Nero, Urail, Shutendoji, Tamamo Cat, John D. Arc, Serenity, Meb, Nitocris, Mush, Helena, Altera. Okay, damn, that's a lot of costumes. So I'm looking forward to Grey Life. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I'm also going to do Akihabara Explosion when it comes out as a gameplay video. So yeah, see you guys then. So thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, how you like the event and all that in the comment section, and I'll check them out. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back in the next FGO video. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.